Welcome to Joellen's Kitchen. Tonight we're going to make strawberry rhubarb pie. And I've pre-cut 6 cups of rhubarb. It's that ruby red. The younger shoots are better. They're not as woody or stringy, as I guess you could say. And I have 3 cups of strawberries cut into big chunks. And keeping with the Pennsylvania Dutch, I have half brown and half white sugar. Altogether, it's 1 1/3 cups. We need half of a teaspoon of salt. You can measure it out or put it in your palm, however you do it. We need 1/2 cup of cornstarch. And you need some sort of a citrus fruit. It could be an orange or a lemon. And you want to squeeze out probably 2 tablespoons of juice. If you have seeds, you might want to catch those. This is a tangela without seeds. If you want to have a little bit of zest, you can do that from the shell. And the last ingredient we need in the mixing bowl is a teaspoon of vanilla. We want to take a wooden spoon and gently tumble everything together until it's thoroughly mixed. That's why I have my big bowl here. Can hold a lot. And tonight's one of those shortcut nights. You can go to my YouTube channel and you can make pie dough from scratch if you like. But today we're going to use ready-made crust just because it's late Sunday night when I'm doing this. Election day is coming up Tuesday. This is the spring, by the way. The beginning of, well, the middle of May actually, and the rhubarb is in good to make pies. And so strawberry rhubarb is our favorite here. And I always like to use a margarine stick and coat the insides of my pie plates. I just think it makes the crust a little bit flakier and it doesn't stick after it's done baking. So again, I use ready-made crust, and we're just going to gently unroll this into our pie plate. And usually I use a fork, but today I'm using a knife. We're going to jab some holes in the bottom and the sides so we don't get big air bubbles. I think we're going to ready the second one right away. By the way, I have cornstarch all over my arm. Kind of went everywhere. But that's okay. It comes out in the wash. You might say, why am I concerned about Election Day? Well, it's no concern, but we pre-canvass ballots, which means we're opening the mail-in ballots and the absentee ballots, getting them ready to count, and then of course we count them. So that should take all day Tuesday because Election Day, and probably at least half of Wednesday. This is not a big presidential race, but there's a lot of local races like school board, and I think city council might be on there. And then of course statewide we have judges, a lot of judges running, and some local district judges. So it should be a busy couple of days, and then Friday you come back and do the official computation. So now that you know why I'm cooking ahead for a couple of days, I also made vegetable soup today. And we're just going to fill our pie with our filling. strawberries and rhubarb. Okay, now traditionally on a strawberry rhubarb pie, rather than a full crust, there is a lattice crust. So we're going to give our hand at doing a lattice crust simply by rolling out one more pie dough onto our silicone mat. There we go. And I'm going to close up my vanilla. Forgot to do that. And we're going to start making strips. We're going to take I like to do the center one first and work my way to the edges. And just maybe 1/2 inch strips. And we're going to make a lattice work across the pie, going opposite directions. And then if you like, you can flute those edges a little bit, get everything to stick together. Okay, there's one ready to go. Ready to go into the oven. Let's get another one ready. Put this one down a little bit. I'm going to put it in the oven. 350 degrees, 50 minutes for most ovens, and about halfway through you want to take a piece of aluminum foil, just lay it across the top of the pie crust to help keep the top from getting too brown too quickly. So put it in the oven. Okay, we're going to pull the pies out of the oven. It's the midway point, and I'm going to do two things. I cut up some little tiny squares of butter from about 3 or 4 tablespoons. And see how nice and brown the pie is already? We don't want it to get any browner. That's why we're going to be putting the aluminum foil on top so that that rhubarb can finish cooking. Here's my plate of butter pats cut up, and we're just going to drop them sporadically throughout the pie at those little openings. And that'll just give it a really good taste. That should be enough on that one. And here's my aluminum foil. I'm going to cover those pies and just gently fold it around so it keeps them from browning anymore, and lets that rhubarb finish cooking in there so it's nice and soft and delicious. Back into the oven they go for the last 25 minutes. So my pies are cooked and they look luscious. They've been sitting a while, and you should wait at least half an hour. One, they have to cool down, and two, that cornstarch thickens the juice so it's not all soupy when you get it out. And I'm going to cut one of them and try this out. Oh my. I did want to mention that some people like to take a large egg and a tablespoon of milk and whisk that and brush it on the top and put more sugar on top. I didn't do that. Trying not to make it too sweet, but if you like sweet, go for it. Well, it's still hot, but take a look at that strawberry rhubarb pie. I'm going to try it. So good. Thank you, Carol.